After a 9-year hiatus from being a JB-initialed action hero, Matt Damon is back in Jason Bourne as his signature character in this film directed by Paul Greengrass, whose most recent hit was 2013's Captain Phillips. The film starts off with Bourne participating in illegal street fights while being off the grid in Greece after several years. His former partner/person who helps Bourne, played by Julia Stiles, contacts him after hacking and gathering CIA documents about Black Ops. One of the operations spurs her to make contact with Bourne because it involves his past. They meet up in Greece, where political unrest is everywhere and chaos ensues among the riots and the chase that the CIA gives to get them. Tommy Lee Jones plays the CIA director Robert Dewey, who's heavily focused on getting Bourne, and Alicia Vikander plays Heather Lee, who is an agent that becomes a little loose with her ties to the CIA that's reflected later on. Vincent Cassel is pretty much Bourne's rival, and he's the asset that Jones contacts to be toe-to-toe with Bourne. The end goal is to kill Bourne, but can the CIA do it this time? There's also another thing to the story that involves the CIA dealing with a social media platform for questionable purposes. The premise isn't that intriguing. The main focus is whether or not Jason Bourne gets the answers that he wants while taking down the CIA's suspicious plans. The answers that he finds to his past are underwhelming, and his emotions from the revelations don't play heavily. The stakes are low, and it's not emphasized enough. The part of the story with a CIA-connected social media platform is just like, so what? We already know that the government with the NSA tracks us to some extent, so this isn't anything new. It's relevant, but not new. These two running themes are just there, and it seems to reflect what the past Bourne films were about, which were simply that the government is shady, and Bourne wants to know who he is. It's nothing groundbreaking. Matt Damon's performance is fine because he's the same badass that we've known since 2002. He kicks ass well, and he's almost invulnerable. I don't care that his character doesn't say that much in the film because he's a man of few words. Julia Stiles' character, Nikki Parsons, just wasn't good. Her dialogue with Bourne is stiff and stilted, and I couldn't believe that they kept that take. And I wish that it didn't sound so routine. Maybe it's supposed to reflect her professionalism and cynicism towards the CIA, but it came off as someone with little to no personality. I even laughed at how wooden it was in the theater. The one positive that she had was she executed a few action scenes convincingly. Lee Jones is like a toned-down version of himself in The Fugitive, since he's like 70 years old. He's a man on a mission, trying to hunt down the sole target. And let's face it, at his age, he can't do a lot of action, but he's not a fun guy to be targeted by. Alicia Vikander was good as well in the film, and I thought she was convincing. I wasn't sure of her character's intentions, since I felt that there would be a twist caused by her along the way. But I wish Vincent Cassel had a complex role, but no, he's just a hired killer with little to no personality. But I can compliment him on his action skills, and he definitely brought a sense of danger as Bourne's equal. And I say I wish he was more complex because sometimes, the hero's kind of bland. Well, not bland, but just not as interesting as a villain, like how the Joker was way more cool compared to Batman. If you're looking for an action film with a mediocre plot but decent characters, look here. The action sequences are filled with tension, the expected shaky cam, and the appropriate music that predicts what's going to happen next in an action sequence. Where the music is fast-paced, and then it sounds like that there's going to be even more unknown danger ahead. The chase scenes with vehicles were the highlights. However, I didn't like the very shaky and frenetic editing of the fight scenes. I don't like it when it's choppy like that, like in the Christopher Nolan Batman films, except this takes it to a whole new, terrible level. I couldn't see what was going on precisely and clearly. The good Asian martial arts movies like the Raid and Ip Man series do a way better job than this. Overall, Jason Bourne is just a film that's going through the motions, and nothing new is added. I haven't seen the rest of the films, but I know that they're mostly about him trying to figure out who he is, and or trying to stop the CIA's wrongdoings while evading them. As an action film, it's well executed, but as a story, it's, nothing groundbreaking. Before I end, what's your favorite Bourne movie and why? If you haven't seen any Bourne films, then feel free to say what's your favorite spy movie.